experts at TireRack.com and is brought to you by Coca-Cola, Under Armour, Gatorade, Canon, by Vivid Seats, St. Joseph Health System, South Bend Orthopedics, by West Bend Insurance, First Source Bank, by IBEW, and by Papa John's. And now, live from O'Rourke's Public House, your host for the Mike Brey Show, Jack Nolan.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Brey Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House. The Fighting Irish are right back in the race for an NCAA bid. You're now in a four-way tie for sixth place with Georgia Tech, Clemson, and Syracuse, and you own the tiebreaker with at least two of those, folks. Syracuse, we're going to have to go out to other opponents since you split with them. Everything is still out there for you because you came from 15 down to beat Carolina at the buzzer.
Well, we which was what a great evening in our building, night in our building, and our fans were great. And that stretch that started with Clemson, you couldn't go less than 2-2 in that stretch. And, we were disappointed we couldn't finish out the Virginia game. The Duke game, did that even happen? That's just, I tried to erase that one quick, and because we ran into a buzzsaw in Durham. And I'm proud of our guys because, we were getting beat on pretty good on Monday night in the second half and found a way to get out of there and make some big-time winning plays to stay within striking distance of all the things we've dreamed about.
I was disappointed in your former boss in Duke last night as they got drilled at NC State. Not quite the same way. But you were there so long. I kind of mused after the Duke game. I almost wish they were a repeat opponent, because that place does have an atmosphere unlike anywhere else, and they're always good. And, back in 2015, we talked about it after the game. You lost by 30 down there, and you went on to win the ACC championship, and you beat Duke twice. But stuff can happen in that place. And even Coach K said when they started hitting threes and everybody hit threes, he just called it magical. It was just one of those nights.
They were, we repeat them next year.
Really? I did not know that.
And Virginia.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah. Probably should retire.
Promise me right now you're coming back. Promise me you're coming back. They shouldn't let you know this far in advance. Gives you an out.
It's projected out. Now, it's a unique atmosphere, and I think
it's like Disney World for anybody connected with basketball.
Yeah, it really kind of overwhelmed us, and again, they shot it really, really well, and you don't know what to do with the big guy Carey if they're shooting it well, and you just try and get out of there and try and regroup a little bit. And I thought we did the best we could, because not only was it a quick turnaround from Saturday, but it was a quick turnaround starting last Sunday. Just the 4 games in 8 days and traveling back and going back to Durham. And so anyways, we're able to get a little bit of rest these last couple days. We'll get back into a real intense practice mode tomorrow. And but to be 7-8 in the league and 16-10, and your numbers are within striking distance, got to do more. We have work to do, but with a couple weeks out, that you can make a run. That's where you want to be.
And we're going to talk a lot about the Carolina game here in a minute. But even at Duke, there were bright spots. First half was close. Your big guys were good, and Juwan Durham tied for game-high scoring honors with Carey. He had 21 points. I thought he played the best game that he has ever played in that atmosphere against quality competition, and it's really the first time. He's been great this year. He starts quickly every game, but he has trouble maintaining that throughout the entire game. He didn't play all 40 minutes, but both halves. At Duke, he did it from beginning to end.
Yeah, it was the most minutes that, he played. I thought it was extended minutes. We're trying to get to that point where he can play longer minutes, and sometimes it's not because he's not effective. It's all of a sudden Nate has become effective, or our smaller lineup has become effective, and Johnny Mooney's going to play, and then everybody else has got to kind of fit in around him there as far as the frontline guys, but we got to think of him as a young player still, even though he's not a young player as far as years in college. He's young as far as his body being healthy, being in a day-to-day grind of practice. So he's got very good footwork. He is a joy to be around. going to graduate from our university in a couple of months. It's really a great story, and he gets to come back next year. But you're right about starts. He's given us good starts.
The other guy who I think you do want to remember what he did, your walk-on, Elijah Morgan, the young man out of New Orleans, got to play 5 minutes. Duke still had really good players on the floor. Yeah. A lot of guys, the moment would have been too big. He hit his first field goal. It was a 3. He ended up with 5 points and assists. He just looked like he belonged.
Well, you don't. There's no way Elijah Morgan thought going into Cameron Indoor Stadium, he thought he was going to play 5 minutes on national TV. But given where the game was, we got him in there. And like he's been in practice, he is really a very good player. I mean, he has got a great feel for the game. He competes with Prentice and TJ every day. So I'm really, pleased with his adding him to our program. And who knows down the road, he's gifted enough where he could be a guy to compete for playing time down the road.
I actually talked to him a little bit over in the practice facility today. Not only does he compete with your starting guards, he gets under their skin a lot.
He does.
And
he
does. Really likes that.
Yeah, he does he likes getting to Prentice and TJ. And he's got great quickness. He's got good strength. He's hard to guard. He's hard to stay in front of. He guards the heck out of Prentice. It's been a very good thing for Prentice because Prentice has to bring it every day because Elijah's waiting for him and coming after him. So, he comes as a regular student, even though he was recruited by some lower Division I schools down in the Louisiana area. But to have him show up and be able to add him to our program, it was just such a bonus.
You've already talked about how impressed you are. Your team bounced back because you came back from Duke. And we live in a world where it seems like every game you play, you got to win. Must win, must win. Well, Carolina was a must-win, and I know they're struggling, but they got to be the best 3-win league team ever, probably even better than you guys were last year. They still got 2 McDonald's All-Americans on that team. They're still very talented. I know they're struggling, but it was not an easy game to win.
No, it wasn't. And, the league we sign up for, we play the Duke program on a Saturday, and 2 days later you play the North Carolina program. That kind of tells you what territory we're in with this league now.
Well, and 3 days after you played the defending national champions.
Correct. I mean, it's amazing what comes at you. And, I thought we were really ready to play. We were up 9 in the first half. They made a run and cut it to 3. And then in the second half, they got going a little bit offensively. And I thought we looked exhausted at times and a little beat up. And I'm starting to wonder, boy, maybe we can't pull ourselves out of this. But it was nothing you said in a timeout as the coach. It was your captains kind of setting the tone, and Prentice Hub, setting the tone. And, Prentice Hub kind of jump-started the whole thing, as he has jump-started a lot of things, and then everybody took part. TJ, who, those 3 threes that he hit were big-time hard shots. Nate hit one in the midst of that. We talked about Rex's unbelievable play on the offensive rebound and pass out, and Nate delivers it. So I thought we defended fabulously the last 7 minutes of the game, and our crowd helped us. When our crowd is loud, when we're guarding at the end of the game, it does rattle the other team because we've been on the other side of that. And so I thought it really helped us, and to win it in a exciting fashion like that was neat. And again, I know where they stand in the league, but anytime we can beat the North Carolina program, our program, those are good wins for us.
And your crowd's been great all year. They may not always be the most boisterous crowd, but this crowd always shows up. And in a medium-sized market, you're always getting 8,000 folks to come out just about every night. But, I mean, even your home team announcer, you're down 15 with about 8.5 minutes left, and the building was dead. It was like a wake. Everybody's figuring this is done.
Yep.
And even your guys, you came off the floor for that timeout. It looked like it was over. What did it say to you? Were you surprised that they found a way to dig down and come back the way they did?
I can't. I mean, I'm thrilled how we swung it and turned it. And, we do have the offensive capability of getting going fast. You know, we could be dormant for 15 minutes and get on a run. For example, we were down, 15 or 16 to Louisville, and I think we tied it within like 3 or 4 minutes. We went to the small lineup. So we can get on a run quick. And you know, at the timeout, there wasn't anything for really me to say. I mean, they knew the situation, and I think there was a poise about it. There was ranting or yelling or challenging manhood. It was, you know, all right, we got to guard. And I just kind of kept talking about our defense. You know, if we guard and get it back, I think we're going to score enough, but we got to get stops.
And the guy that started it, as you mentioned, was Prentice. The first time Carolina went up by 15 with 9:09 left, he came back on the floor, and you could almost sense it. He put the team on his back, and he was amazing. He scored 11 of your next 14 points, including that crazy, ridiculous, over-the-head layup off the glass where he got fouled. And he has that ability. That's not surprising. He's done that about a half dozen times. As a coach, how do you get him to be able to draw on that reserve so that kind of aggressive, successful play is more consistent?
Yeah, I think what we've tried to really tell him is to be aggressive early. You know, we ball screen for him, and, you know, we want him in attack mode. That's one of the reasons we're playing faster this year. You know, I think certainly it helps your whole team, but it really helps him. It plays into his hands. So we always are doing things for him early. If we get stops, we're hitting him on the outlet, and he's pushing it, and we want him to shoot it. And so I think he's growing still. But, you know, sometimes when you have absolutely nothing to lose and it looks completely over, you loosen up to the point where you get on those runs. And, you know, maybe in a lot of ways, did you have to get to that point psychologically for those guys to say, well, we really don't have anything to lose, so let's just keep swinging and fighting. And then all of a sudden you got it to 2 possessions, and it changes. And that's how fragile a game is. It's just amazing.
And everybody was making plays. And the sophomore class right now, they've all stepped forward this year. They're all looking for consistency. Dane's had some really consistent play. There are games he disappears. I think the guy that took the biggest step, and please correct me if you don't agree, but Nate Laszewski, and it wasn't just because he hit the three. He was attacking the basket with an aggressiveness and a physicality that I don't think we've ever seen from him. He got 5 free throws by attacking the basket. And then when he drove the lane and threw the ball from his right hand to his left hand and banked it in, I mean, that was just an incredibly athletic, aggressive, confident move.
Yeah, I think he's driving the ball a little more, which is, you know, really, really helped him. And people close out on him because they're worried about him making a shot. But, you know, he's got on this, you know, we've got some clips going. He when he has a big guy on him, and he's our second big guy, you know, he can get by them. And, you know, so he is, that's helped him. He's always been active defensively. He's got great body position. He's a great team defender. He helps. So I've been really pleased with what he does on that end. And he's improving as a rebounder. You know, he's really improving as a rebounder. And, you know, that's a big one there to step up. Now, you know, he ties it against Toledo. In a very short career, he's knocked down some really big ones. And, you know, I just like his body language right here. It's much more confident. And what a play by Rex Pflueger, though. And May got fouled.
That came up quite a bit as well. And again, folks listening on the radio, we also have a video stream of this show every week live. You can watch the archive. So it's almost like another version of Coach's TV show where we break down some of the action. One last guy we got to talk about in this game. And there are 2 groups of Notre Dame fans. There are fans that recognize that Rex Pflueger is the glue for this team. And there are fans that go, I looked at the numbers again. Rex only scored 3, or Rex didn't play. What's he doing out there? Well, this was a classic Rex Pflueger game. He took 3 3-point attempts, made 1. He had 3 points, dished out 5 assists, didn't turn the ball over, blocked a shot, came up with 3 steals, did a textbook job. The highlight starts with his pass, which was great. But, folks, if you have the game DVR'd, go back to the blockout job he did on a bigger guy on Carolina. Cleared an enormous amount of space to be able to not just get the rebound, but control it. And can you throw a better pass to Laszewski than he did in traffic?
And he was so calm with it, even though he knows the clock is ticking. But, you know, the 2 games he's won at the buzzer to get us to the Sweet 16, nose for the ball on the offensive board, tip in. Syracuse runs the length of the floor. He has a nose for the ball, and he made that pass just so mature, so, the footwork, and really set Nate up to knock it in. But that's what he does. How about the steals that he had in the last 4 or 5 minutes, just were – he was guarding everybody.
Well, you took Carolina's heart because they came in shaky. They'd already lost the last 2 at the buzzer. And when things started going bad and then you started taking the ball from them, you finished on a 13-3 run.
Yeah, we were, and he really sparked it. Again, our Deke was really good at that key time, and we can get going offensively. So, we backs against the wall, we certainly needed it. We needed some rest the last couple days. And now we have a Miami team who is healthy again. This is the Miami team that beat Illinois on the road. Their guards are back. And, everybody says, well, we can definitely win every one of them on our schedule, but we're going to have to play like heck to beat everybody.
When I think of Rex, and maybe it sits with me even more because I was doing Notre Dame games when you were an assistant at Duke. When you finally beat him down there, I think the biggest basket in the game may have been the Rex Pflueger 3-point basket that just really grabbed momentum for you, and he was only a freshman at the time.
End of the shot clock, he makes it. But and then my other memory of that game is the guy who got the defensive rebound to win it was him. Like the ball, it was a long rebound, and how he covers ground. He rebounded over 3 of their guys and got fouled or whatever to ice the win. So he is such an instinctive nose for the ball guy, winning plays guy. And he's shooting 34% in league play from the 3-point line. He doesn't take a lot of them, which is by design, but
that's your team average.
That's a solid.
You're at 34 too.
He's making enough of those that when he's really open, we want him to take that. But he loves finding people. His assist to turnover is fabulous, and he sets a great tone. He's got a great basketball IQ and on pace to play the most games in the history of our program. Rex Pflueger probably should own that record and pass Pat Connaughton.
We got lots of questions for you, Coach, but one other guy I always want to make sure we talk about because I think he's so good and so consistent that it may hurt him nationally sometimes, getting the attention that he deserves. And we're talking about John Mooney. He's one of the 10 finalists for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame Karl Malone Power Forward of the Year Award. Folks, you can vote for him by going to hoophallawards.com. He got his 21st double-double of the year against Carolina. He would have gotten it against Duke, except in the last 6 or 7 minutes. There was no reason to keep him on the floor. But against Duke and Carolina, he scored 32 points. He grabbed 19 rebounds. He's averaging 16.2 points a game, 12.7 rebounds, second nationally. He's tied for first in the country in double-doubles with 21. I don't know if there's ever been a guy who has made himself into a better player than John has, or who can consistently bring it regardless of circumstances every game.
Well, it's been a great story, Jack. There's no question about it. I mean, the machine-like double-double stuff is it's uncharted territory. When you look at Tim Duckett was the other guy, and Sheldon Williams in the last 25 years to have this kind of a run. I think what helps John this year is we've won more. He did this last year, but we didn't win enough to maybe get enough recognition.
And I understand that.
I agree with that. I agree with that completely. And but this time he's part of more success, and I think he's really, but it's a machine-like preparation, and he's, I think, yet another, great story of a guy in our program that's gotten better every year.
And he doesn't want attention. He just wants to win, and that's another thing. He's not a guy that's looking for the media. He's not a guy who makes a big play. Normally, he was very, very happy when he won at Syracuse this year. But normally, he's not a guy that attracts any attention to himself.
No, he's pretty steady emotionally. He gets a little wired at the end of games sometimes, in a good way. But there's a maturity and a pace about him, which really our seniors have that. They've played so much basketball. It's really, they're veterans.
Knocking down threes. I know he's going to make money somewhere at the next level.
Yeah.
There is a skepticism about his NBA future, but I kind of think he's going to surprise people at that level.
I think he when you can rebound like that in college, it usually translates. And so he's going to have every opportunity to do that, stretch the floor and do that. The other thing is he's durable physically. You can rely on him. Some of these elite talents get banged up over a long season, and you don't have them healthy. And it's like our guest tonight, TJ Gibbs. He's a machine physically. He's just there every day, and that benefits you when you go to make a living plan, because then they can rely on you.
Folks, we'll be back with our questions for Coach Brey right after this first time out. The Mike Brey Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
There's no doubt education costs have become overwhelming and continue to spike. Unless you choose to earn while you learn as an apprentice with the electrical workers of Local 153. Instead of spending $20,000 a year, often leaving school with a debt, you'll earn an annual package worth over $70,000 while you earn your associate's degree and the skills to be an IBEW electrician. Contact the South Bend Electrical Apprentice Training Center at JATC153.com and compare. Huge costs with no guarantee of a job versus earning $280,000 and train for the future.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss your chance to experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell tickets to any event. Home games, on the road, even sold out games, no problem. And every transaction is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee. Vivid Seats lets you see more and sit closer all season long. Support the Fighting Irish with tickets from the official ticket marketplace, Vivid Seats. Available now at vividseats.com/UND.
You know, a lot of banking apps let you do the same things, like check your balance in your PJs, deposit checks during your workout, and transfer funds from, well, anywhere. But because we're a trusted bank in the neighborhood, the First Source app comes with a walk-in option, so you can talk face-to-face, not just face-to-phone. First Source Bank.
Member FDIC. Download the First Source app on the App Store or Google Play.
At St. Joseph Health System, every hand held, every story told, every tear shed, smile shared, and spirit lifted stays in our hearts forever. We're blessed because every day we get to make a difference in people's lives. To learn more, visit sjmed.com. St. Joseph Health System. We are called to care for you.
You're listening to the Mike Brey Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House, presented by the experts at TireRack.com. And fans, don't forget, you can experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell your tickets. Vivid Seats helps you see more and sit closer all season long at vividseats.com/UND. Mark Krasinski from Mishawaka, season ticket holder. Coach, what do you think of the new proposed transfer rule in which an incoming student athlete gets one transfer without sitting out a full season?
I think it's dangerous territory. I myself was a transfer that had to sit out a year, like Jawan Durham did, like Cormac Ryan is doing, Ryan Humphrey, Scott Martin, Ben. And I've seen it with our guys, and for me personally, it was a benefit. It helped academically, helped athletically, all of the above. But we've jammed ourselves up with these waivers that you're hearing about, kids that are getting a special waiver to play right away. Too many of them been granted. And I almost feel, since I did see in the last week, the Big Ten and the ACC has sponsored it. And I think we're going to be there quickly, where kids will be able to transfer. And I think it's a bit dangerous, kids being able to just leave and play at the other school. But it's kind of happening now with these waivers. And I think the NCAA has gotten jammed up with lawsuits because baseball, volleyball, other sports can transfer and play right away, yet football, basketball, men's and women's can't. And I don't know how we get out of this thing, even though it's always good to be a 5-year man if you transfer. And Jawan Durham will be that. Cormac Ryan will be that. I was that. I just don't see I don't see how we can stop the momentum of this. And so it's, you know, as one coach said, we'll be recruiting kids right off each other's team. You know, it's kind of intense already how we compete with each other in recruiting, but I think it could open up some tough stuff, but I don't see how we can stop this, even though we have grad rates. All these things say the year in residency is a good thing for the young person. Graduation rates, APR. I don't think that's going to matter.
Well, and they're ignoring the academic side for the athletic side.
Yeah.
Robert Mays here from South Bend, and it's kind of an officiating question, and of course you pledged to be in your best behavior, but it is actually, all kidding aside, you were on the rules committee. You're in favor of freedom of movement. He wants to know, he thinks Hub gets fouled most of the time on the high screen and roll with Mooney. What has happened to the freedom of movement in college basketball?
Well, that is a great question. I think when we get what we have every year, and we hear this in our league meetings, is freedom of movement enforced, you know, in November, in December, and then around late January it starts to fade. And it gets a little rough in some places. And, you know, it lingers. And I agree with you. I mean, Prentice Hub does not weigh 210. When he turns the corner off a ball screen, a 6'9", 250-pound guy should not be able to hip him, 5 feet out. We've gotten that call a few times. But, it's it should be a little more of an absolute when you just knock a guy off his path.
The one that's been bugging me, and I may have been too outspoken on a couple of games this year, but it's this lodging in the post. Apparently they allowed the first one, but now I think they're allowing the second and third one again, and I don't think that's basketball.
I don't know if you can guard. If Johnny Mooney's asked to guard a 6'9", 250 guy who's banging him, dribbling, and shouldering him under the bucket, I don't think you can guard any of those guys one-on-one. And we've tried to help in the post more because of that. You're right. The rule is the second shoulder, the second dislodgement should be an automatic. That's probably faded on some nights. And I know for a fact, Brian Kersey, who does a great job with our officials, he is on them. The first thing he's saying on every call, every week with the officials is, don't let up on freedom of movement. We had slippage before. We cannot let this thing turn into a wrestling match.
Jerry Liss would like to know, when was the moment you felt the momentum had changed during the North Carolina game?
One of TJ's threes. I don't know which one it was. Maybe the one across from our bench I thought kind of started to change the whole atmosphere. And as I mentioned earlier, those were three hard shots. And in transition, I thought Prentice did a great job throwing ahead to him. But, I think he started one of those two, kind of made everybody feel like it was really turning.
Will Diedrich of Middletown, Maryland, Coach, given
Middletown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Middletown. You know Middletown?
Frederick. That's up around Frederick, not far from my hometown.
He would like to know, given the supposed downstate of the ACC, what do you think your team's record needs to be to make the tournament?
That's a great question. I don't know if I could put a number on it, but, we have four that are probably in there. Virginia, Florida State, Louisville, Duke. NC State, with last night's win, puts themselves in a very, very good position, and then the rest of us are all fighting for it. Anytime you can have a winning record in any Power 5 league, whether it's up or down or whatever, your numbers are going to be good and you're going to be in the vicinity. I think no matter what happens with us, and we feel we're playing well, we're going to have to go to Greensboro and do. We're going to have to do some things in Greensboro, and I don't know what that'll be until we play these other five.
We have three questions for TJ, so rather than ask them now, we'll get TJ up here.
Get him up here.
So we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with TJ Gibbs right after this timeout. The Mike Brey Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House.
Hi, I'm Brock Zolman. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care has been family-owned for 40 years. What does this mean to you? It means that we're dedicated to our community and serving you like family. Zolman's Best One would also like to say thank you for voting us favorite auto repair for 16 consecutive years and favorite tire store for 3 years in a row. We also offer a wide selection of Bridgestone tires. Bridgestone tires at Zolman's Best One. Let our family serve your family. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care. Trusted community service for 40 years.
A stylish new garage door can change the entire look of your home. At Industrial Door of Northern Indiana, you can choose from traditional carriage house or other striking residential looks that will update the curb appeal of your home instantly. Visit Industrial Door of Northern Indiana's showroom at 3839 South Main Street in South Bend, or view their entire gallery, including lifestyle overhead and Mystic motorized garage screen doors at industrialdoorni.com. Industrial Door of Northern Indiana, providing quality sales, service, and installation of commercial and residential overhead doors.
It's a huge golf liquidation sale Friday, February 28th and Saturday, February 29th at the Century Center, South Bend. Golf shirts and pants by Under Armour, Adidas, Oakley, and Columbia, now 3 for $79.99. Golf Buddy VTX handheld GPS, now $79.99. Tour Edge HL3 drivers, now $89.99. Cleveland wedges, RTX 3, $59.99. Bridgestone E6 golf balls, now $10.99 a dozen. Visit MapleHillGolf.com for a free pass. February 28th and 29th at the Century Center in South Bend.
Hi, this is Bethel University men's basketball coach Steve Draben. I'm proud to be a part of Bethel's tradition-rich program. Our commitment to excellence is a top priority of our team as we strive to be true blue, both on and off the court. The final weeks of the season promise to be exciting with a demanding schedule in the Crossroads League. Let me personally invite you and your family to come cheer on the Pilots.
This Saturday, the Bethel men host the Maple Leafs of Goshen College on Senior Day at 3 p.m. Pilot seniors Gavin Rassler and Keontae Jenkins will be honored during a pregame ceremony. That's Bethel hosting Goshen in the regular season finale, Saturday afternoon at 3. Go Pilots!
Hey, Michiana, this is Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. With tax time right around the corner and spring coming, now is a perfect opportunity to call and get a free, no-obligation rate quote. As a locally owned lender, we offer the best competitive interest rates and some of the best purchase and refinance programs in the local area. I'm Kevin Putz. Let me put my 20 years of mortgage experience and service expertise to work for you. Call today, 287-1152.
Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage, NMLS number 127733.
Welcome back to the Mike Brey Radio Show. We're delighted to welcome Notre Dame captain, senior TJ Gibbs. And here's a little fact a lot of people don't know. TJ is the leading active scorer in the entire Atlantic Coast Conference with 1,494 points. That's a pretty good career.
Oh, thank you.
We've got a bunch of fan questions rather than my deep questions, so let's go to the fans. Rosemary Dazinski from Mishawaka. TJ, what are your plans after graduation? P.S. I like your hat.
Oh, thank you.
He's got quite the hat collection.
Yeah, that's my pride. That's my pride and joy. I want to continue to play as long as I can. It doesn't really matter where or how. Just I love the game of basketball, and I want to play as long as God allows me to.
Landon from South Bend would like to know, where has been your favorite place to play over your career?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think Florida State is probably up there, and Duke. Duke, the last time, was probably the loudest I've ever been in, the loudest arena.
Brandon Liss is always here. Coach, how have you seen TJ Gibbs improve from his freshman year to today?
You know, he's always had a great feel for the game. That's why he was a key guy for us as a freshman. And I think because he was the youngest of three, there was a toughness about him. You know, he comes from a family of some really good basketball players. As a matter of fact, his wonderful mother, Jackie, is here tonight. And she's here with us tonight. And we're not going to get you up here, Jackie. That's okay. But he's been a pleasure to coach. He's a fighter. He's got an edge about him. There's a toughness about him. There's a feel for the game. And what you said right there, the leading active scorer, you know, that's an amazing stat. And then you look at his percentages and his numbers this season. What guard is having a better year than TJ Gibbs in the whole country? Forget the league.
I wrote down some of those numbers, Coach. ACC play, 12th in the league in scoring 15 points. Number one in three-point percentage in ACC play, 49.4%. Fifth in overall field goal percentage, 48.7. Second in free throw percentage, 90.2. Not ranked right now because you have to shoot a few more, but you're 37 of 41. And second in assist to turnover ratio at 2.6. And you've been in double figures in 13 of the 15 ACC games this season.
He's having just one of those great years. He knows who he is. He is a great passer and a great playmaker. He understands the game. And, you know, I think it's been neat to watch him and Prentice play together. I think he's been really good for Prentice. Prentice was a young guard, and TJ's been kind of the big brother to him. And fearless guy, guards, he defends, and then I get back to, again, physically what we're asking of him. Really, you're playing the whole game. I really can't take you out. Mm-hmm. And then turn around and you got to play the whole game again the next one, and you got to play the whole game. So he's going to graduate from here in a couple months, get his degree, and he will play professionally. He's got a very bright future, and this year has really helped him and set him up for that.
You know, we talk a lot about the Notre Dame family, and in particular, your program and what you've built, and I think it's a testimony to it right now. A lot of things Prentice Hub could be doing tonight, but Prentice Hub has come to the Mike Brey radio show because his buddy TJ Gibbs is here. Talk about the relationship the two of you have developed.
A lot of people try to say it's like a big bro, little bro thing, but that's honestly, he is my brother. Like, I learned from him just as much as he learned from me. Probably I learned from him a little bit more. The way that he's able to play, but it's a lot of the stuff off the court that he's probably my best friend. Him and Rex, but that's our backcourt, but those are my two best friends here. And each day it's always a pleasure to know that I'm coming in, I'm coming to practice and games with guys that compete and guys that want to win just as much as I do.
A lot of teams, it's classes, but right there, fifth year, senior, sophomore, right together.
Yeah, it's really, I told him the other day, this group has taken total ownership of themselves. And when you have a group do that, sometimes the coach is just along for the ride, and you don't want to screw them up. I mean, we have seniors, they know how we play, and he mentioned Rex and Prentice. We lead the nation in assist to turnover because those three guys on the perimeter really know how to play and pass and catch, and what a good shot is. And it's beautiful to watch the three of them play together and read the defense and just do it. It's a unique perimeter with those three.
Hey, Irish fans, Tire Rack is the presenting sponsor of the Mike Brey Radio Show, and like the Irish, Tire Rack knows a thing or two about passion and performance. Their on-site test track is their practice court, and they've got a playbook that includes precisely what you need. Get your tires right at TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. More with TJ Gibbs right after this timeout on the Mike Brey Radio Show.
What if something happens to your house? What if you don't have the right amount of coverage? West Bend's Home and Highway policy includes a guaranteed replacement cost feature. So if your home is destroyed, we'll pay to replace it, even if the cost to do so is higher than the limits on your policy. Because your house isn't just a house, it's your home, and your home is priceless. West Bend, the worst brings out our best. Ask your independent insurance agent about getting a West Bend policy for the things you can't afford to lose.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
Join the gang at O'Rourke's Public House, located in Eddy Street Commons, directly across the street from the Notre Dame campus. With over 24 beers on draft and an extensive selection of menu items, they're sure you'll find something to your liking. Experience dining in one of the 5 different Irish-themed areas overlooking Notre Dame's beautiful campus. Whether you're catching up with an old friend, meeting, or enjoying dinner with your family, O'Rourke's is the place to be. Visit them online at o'rourkespublichouse.com. Cheers to the Irish from O'Rourke's, the official home of the Mike Brey Radio Show.
Ashley is an athlete who is always focused on scoring the next goal. But when unexpected injuries happen, Ashley knows where to go. SB Ortho Now Walk-In Clinic, an orthopedic care clinic with same-day walk-in care for breaks, sprains, and sports injuries. Located in South Bend Orthopedics office at Douglas Road and 23 in South Bend. And open noon to 7 Monday through Thursday and noon to 5 on Fridays. No appointment needed means Ashley can be seen right away. Learn more at sborthonow.com.
It doesn't take a focus group to name a Papa John's pizza with 5 of our best meats. Just take a ginormous bite and blurt out the first thing you think of. Meats! With an S. Meats, plural. Used in a sentence, it would be like, holy cow, that's a lot of meats. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go enjoy the meats of my labor. Try large meats or works for just $12, only at Papa John's. Not valid with other discounts. Fees and taxes extra. Prices may vary.
We are back with Irish captain and star guard TJ Gibbs. You mentioned the family that he comes from. He's the little brother. Ashton started at Pitt. Sterling played at Texas, Seton Hall, and UConn. And I know I had a nice chat with Sterling earlier this year. He came out to visit you. Talk about that visit. And actually, at the time, you were struggling a little bit, and it seemed to really help.
Yes, it did. It always is good just to get a familiar face and just somebody who's been through it. And he knows the ups and downs of the season and just knowing how to kind of stay steady. And that's one thing that Coach has always been talking to me about throughout my 4 years is just being steady. And he reminds me of it every day. Every day we come into practice, he says it to me. And just having my brother here just gave me that element of steadiness.
You had a lot of choices when you came out of high school. Boston College, Georgia Tech, Miami, Pittsburgh, Virginia, could have stayed home in the Big East, Seton Hall, St. John's. Why'd you choose Notre Dame, and has it lived up to what you'd expected it to be, or was it maybe even a little better?
Oh, this guy right here. I mean, from day one, Coach Brey has accepted me with open arms, and it's a true brotherhood. Everything is a family here. There's no place I'd rather be. This has been the best 4 years of my life. I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I wouldn't trade this guy for the world either.
Well, you know, the recruiting story was funny. Is we were out on the road when Ashton was coming out, and his father approached me, and which is it's great when recruiting is a bit of a two-way street, and people reach to you a little bit and say, hey, by the way, Coach, we would really have an interest in your program. Well, we screwed it up and didn't recruit Ashton. I don't know what happened. Maybe we had a lot of guards, but when the other guy was coming, I said, we're not going to mess this one up. And but you talk about his brothers. I texted his mother, father, and him the other day. What did you say his point total is? 14?
1,494 points.
So how about the scoring numbers of these three brothers? All right, Ashton has 1,400 something at Pittsburgh. Was a great player. He's second. Sterling's third with about 1,300 something. How about three boys from the same three brothers really getting their money's worth out of it? All got their degrees, all used basketball, didn't use them, and just maxed out their careers. And I think it's just really a neat family story.
Did your brothers go to Seton Hall Prep?
Yes.
And you're the leading scorer in Seton Hall Prep history.
Yes.
So does that come up? Your mom is just smiling.
Oh, every Thanksgiving, I let them know.
Thanksgiving that comes up?
Always, yes. And it's fun because we all broke the record from each other, so it was always a talk.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
I mean, I don't know if you'd ever want to do it. I could see the three of you guys. You go back, coach there. You could run the program. Oh, Mom would like that. You're about to get your degree from the College of Arts and Letters, Film, Television, and Theater. I always kidded you. You've got a broadcast voice. You've got a much better voice than I do.
No.
When your basketball career is over, what do you think? Do you think you'll use some of this? You think you'll be in front of the camera or theater or something where you're in front of people?
Yes, sir. I hope so. You're a great role model. I've been watching you for
I'm going to tear up.
Yes. And then we have a lot of alumni that come. Jordan Cornette, Fonzo is another big one. And just sitting there and just learning from these guys and picking their brains whenever they come back.
You know, we're trying to change this. With Fighting Irish Media, we have more and more things for students to do. But this school, and I think it's the kind of people it attracts, has a remarkable number of graduates in broadcasting, and we don't actually have an official complete broadcasting sequence.
Yeah.
But everything that you have learned here and I think you need to succeed here helps you communicate.
Yes.
And I've always thought, whatever you do, sales, what you do, because you're good in front of a crowd, that's why you're good at what you do, because people judge you in that first 30 seconds when you walk into a room.
Well, the one thing we talked about is he has a charisma. You know, there's a charisma about him, and you can feel it, and it translates, and it'll translate after his basketball career very, very powerfully.
Now, Mom, when you found out his first semester, he was going to take 18 hours at Notre Dame, what was your reaction? Yeah, his mom just said he was crazy. And not only did you do that, but you finished your first semester with a GPA over 3.0. Why did you do that?
Actually, it was a lot to do with my mom and just being prepared from high school. She's always been the one to make sure that we got our homework done before we shot a basketball. We've always been like that since we were kids, and that's something that she's always prided ourselves on. So when I got here, it just became a routine to do school before basketball.
Well, you've been so good at running the fast break on the court, and we used to even do this in the TV show. Last year we let the players do it to each other. We can't let you go until you get to run the audio fast break one more time. But
yes,
first,
sir.
We have to call another timeout and pay some bills. We're back with more in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Brock Zolman. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care has been family-owned for 40 years. What does this mean to you? It means that we're dedicated to our community and serving you like family. Zolman's Best One would also like to say thank you for voting us favorite auto repair for 16 consecutive years and favorite tire store for 3 years in a row. We also offer a wide selection of Bridgestone tires. Bridgestone tires at Zolman's Best One. Let our family serve your family. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care. Trusted community service for 40 years.
A stylish new garage door can change the entire look of your home. At Industrial Door of Northern Indiana, you can choose from traditional carriage house or other striking residential looks that will update the curb appeal of your home instantly. Visit Industrial Door of Northern Indiana's showroom at 3839 South Main Street in South Bend, or view their entire gallery, including lifestyle overhead and Mystic motorized garage screen doors at industrialdoorni.com. Industrial Door of Northern Indiana, providing quality sales, service, and installation of commercial and residential overhead doors.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Hey, Michiana, this is Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. With tax time right around the corner and spring coming, now is a perfect opportunity to call and get a free, no-obligation rate quote. As a locally owned lender, we offer the best competitive interest rates and some of the best purchase and refinance programs in the local area. I'm Kevin Putz. Let me put my 20 years of mortgage experience and service expertise to work for you. Call today, 287-1152.
Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage, NMLS number 127733.
We're back at the Mike Brey Radio Show with Irish Captain TJ Gibbs. First car you ever drove?
A Honda Civic.
Favorite musical group or artist?
Drake.
Who was your role model?
My mom.
Yeah, that was, I knew. He's smart. Because that had to be that answer. One thing the public would be surprised to learn about you after all these years at Notre Dame.
I can sing.
Whoa.
Prentice.
Can he sing? Prentice says yes. Do you have a favorite song?
This Little Light of Mine.
Can you give us 2 lines?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not warm yet.
All right. And I would not do that to you. Your mom would like to hear that. You Twitter, Instagram?
Instagram.
Instagram. Favorite thing to do when relaxing?
Probably watch Netflix.
Favorite sport to play other than basketball?
Honestly, right now, I've been trying to learn a little bit of golf. John Mooney and Dane are really big into golf. Mm-hmm. Not a clue. I couldn't tell you how to hold anything, but I'm learning the strokes first. I know par.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
People do a lot of business on the golf course.
Yeah.
Favorite part of practice?
Kills.
Worst part of practice?
Ooh, that's a tough one. When practice ends.
We don't practice that long.
No, you don't. You don't.
He makes me practice longer. He'll come to me and say, we need to keep going. I say, all right, let's keep going.
Best part of your game?
Does playing with my teammates count? Can I say that?
Sure.
Yeah, I love playing, especially this team. This is my favorite team of all 4 years. I love these guys.
Part of your game you need to work on?
I would say defense and consistency.
Would you agree?
I would not agree on the defensive standpoint. I mean, he's been consistent this year. You know, I think he comes back to that right hand a lot, doesn't he, P-Hub? We say, right? P-Hub goes left and you go right. We're good. We're good.
City or place in the world you would like to visit?
Ooh, Italy, Rome. I love Italy. Love it.
He would have loved that foreign tour to Italy we did a couple years ago. Yeah.
Which is better, knocking down a long three, dishing out a terrific pass, or coming up with a big steal?
I would say a big steal, I think.
One thing you always hear from Coach Brey in practice.
Oh, wow. I get the stay steady, TJ, especially when when things are a little rocky in practice. I get the especially right before a water break, he'll come up and tell me stay steady because he can see we're getting close.
What happens when he's not steady?
He can his engines start revving. I can tell by the look in his eye when you know the one thing about you talk about with practice with a guy like him and Rex. Think about how many college practices they've been in. And you try to keep the practice routine fresh and keep them, you want them engaged, but that's a lot of
with
practices.
Summer stuff now, it's got to be between 900 and 1,000 after 4 years.
The challenge is it not getting stale this time of year and trying to do some different things to keep it fresh.
The favorite question for all players in the fast break. Assistant coach who is most like Coach Brey.
Coach Pilatus.
Yep. All the veterans come up with that. Just a comment on all the assistants. Scott Martin.
Ooh, Scott, that's a attaboy. Scott's a big attaboy. Him and John Mooney have the same type of lingo.
Attaboy.
Yeah, that's their slang. That's their slang. Attaboy.
Ryan Ayers.
He always, that's his favorite one.
Ryan Humphrey.
You guys keep me young, man. You guys keep me young.
Harold Swanigan.
Come on, man.
Rod Balanis.
Akil here wins it. That's his go-to in the huddle.
Yep.
You've played everywhere. Toughest place to play in the ACC?
Either Duke or Florida State.
Player on the team most like you?
It's a tough one. Low-key, maybe P-Hub. P-Hub.
Best nickname on the team, and who has it?
This fits perfectly. Flamethrower. That's Nate. Nate has the flamethrower.
He's a flamethrower.
Yes.
That's a new one, huh?
Best player to room with on the road?
Elijah. That's my roommate. That's my guy. Elijah's the best one.
Toughest Notre Dame player to guard?
P-Hub and Matt Farrell.
All right. Best defender on the team?
Rex.
Best leaper on the team?
P-Hub.
Best dunker on the team?
John Mooney.
Worst dunker on the team?
Me or Rex. It's a tie. Me or Rex. Rex can get up there probably one every 5 jumps. I can't remember the last time I got up there.
You dunked lefty the other day in that full court transition.
Oh yeah, I got my momentum going.
You ran from the corner of the gym and had enough momentum.
Best dresser on the team?
Me.
Worst dresser on the team?
John Mooney.
Best singer on the team?
Me.
Worst singer on the team?
John Mooney.
Best comedian on the team?
Me.
Guy who thinks he's funny, but he's really not?
P-Hub.
And this looks good with a little goatee here. This is going to be a tough question. Beard growing competition? Who wins, you
Mine's clean
or the
today.
freshly shaven Coach Brey?
I can't match Coach Brey on the winning streak. When we get going, the whole beard is in. It gets.
Well, we got started the other night with the clean shave look, so I'm gonna ride it hard,
I like
baby.
it. That's
All right.
I'm gonna ride
TJ,
it for a while.
A pleasure.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back
Good
to wrap
job,
up
baby.
this edition of the Mike Brey Radio Show right after this.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
There's no doubt education costs have become overwhelming and continue to spike. Unless you choose to earn while you learn as an apprentice with the electrical workers of Local 153. Instead of spending $20,000 a year, often leaving school with a debt, you'll earn an annual package worth over $70,000 while you earn your associate's degree and the skills to be an IBEW electrician. Contact the South Bend Electrical Apprentice Training Center at JATC153.com and compare. Huge cost with no guarantee of a job versus earning $280,000 and train for the future.
At St. Joseph Health System, every hand held, every story told, every tear shed, smile shared, and spirit lifted stays in our hearts forever. We're blessed because every day we get to make a difference in people's lives. To learn more, visit sjmed.com. St. Joseph Health System. We are called to care for you.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss your chance to experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell tickets to any event. Home games, on the road, even sold out games, no problem. And every transaction is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee. Vivid Seats lets you see more and sit closer all season long. Support the Fighting Irish with tickets from the official ticket marketplace, Vivid Seats. Available now at vividseats.com/UND.
Join the gang at O'Rourke's Public House, located in Eddy Street Commons, directly across the street from the Notre Dame campus. With over 24 beers on draft and an extensive selection of menu items, they're sure you'll find something to your liking. Experience dining in one of the 5 different Irish-themed areas overlooking Notre Dame's beautiful campus. Whether you're catching up with an old friend, meeting or enjoying dinner with your family, O'Rourke's is the place to be. Visit them online at o'rourkespublichouse.com. Cheers to the Irish from O'Rourke's, the official home of the Mike Brey Radio Show.
We are back in the Mike Brey Radio Show. Doug Buell, longtime season ticket holder from Michigan City. He can start the last segment. Coach, what will be some key matchups for the Miami game?
Well, it's a great guard matchup. You know, Chris Likes is Prentice Hubb's high school teammate from Gonzaga, and those guys going head-to-head.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, he's a really good player. They have a really good perimeter who plays a lot of one-on-one and takes you off the dribble. So our perimeter versus their perimeter is a great matchup. I think our big guys have a huge advantage, so us taking advantage of our big guys should be a key.
And you've been on a roll. Lost the tough one at Virginia. You now erased Duke, but I think North Carolina brought your guys back to that 4-game winning streak. Everybody I talked to today, they said we're just going to keep rolling. They really believe they can win out.
No, I mean they're all very winnable, and they're all going to be very hard to win. But other than the Duke game, every league game we've played has been kind of a game situation.
Oh, absolutely.
Situation, and so why expect anything different on Sunday night?
And that's why the reason I think you're in it, if they really look at it, and I don't want you to bang your head, but 6 of the ACC losses are by a total of 13 points.
Yeah, we've been.
Every one of those games was winnable against quality competition.
Yep. We've got a Florida State coming in here, but again, Miami, given they're healthy, this is the Miami team that won at Illinois back in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. So we've got our hands full, and they're playing well.
So the focus is on Miami. Next week it's at BC, 9 p.m. Wednesday, then Saturday, Wake Forest. I mention that only because we're going to be on the road next Thursday, so come back Monday night.
Mooney
Monday. Mooney Monday. Right after the Muffet Show.
Mooney Monday.
Muffet McGraw, 6 to 7, and then the Mike Brey Show, 7 to 8.
Oh, that's a good night in here.
It's a great basketball night. We will see you then. Until then, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody, and go Irish.
The Mike Brey Radio Show at O'Rourke's Public House was presented by the experts at TireRack.com and is brought to you by Coca-Cola, Under Armour, Gatorade, Canon, by Vivid Seats, St. Joseph Health System, South Bend Orthopedics, by West Bend Insurance, First Source Bank, by IBEW, and by Papa John's.